I'm getting munchy, so I think this is the last one I will do before I get some food. Destinies, which is a game that's been out for a while already. It's a game that has then been followed up since then by The Dark Quarter, which I've fully backed and am excited by. I also don't really have any water left. I've heated up some water to do some tea. I just haven't gone to do it yet. I love how much space my hand has in this mug. It's delightful, but I don't need to worry about that right now because I don't have any water in it. The reason why I'm looking at Destinies is twofold, threefold maybe. Yeah, so was there a place that I used to eat at called Threefold? That sounds really familiar. I think there was. I think there was a place called Threefold that I used to eat at. Or is Threefold the noodle place? Threefold is the noodle place. That's the noodle place here in Little Rock. Now I want Threefold. Oh, now I want dumplings for dinner tonight. Oh, problems. Okay, so Destinies, I have been thinking about this for several reasons. Number one, I'm going to be working the Lucky Duck booth at Gen Con. And so I'm going to be demoing this game. Also, though, they're currently running a contest all the way through October where community can write a scenario. Anybody in the community can write a scenario, and they have the potential to win cash prizes. And it's part of this move by Lucky Duck to centralize and organize all of the community-made scenarios that will be established for Destinies. And really, because a lot of games that enact this hybrid digital model or digital hybrid model sometimes have a finite amount of gameplay. Once you get through the scenarios that are developed, there's not really a reason to have the game anymore unless you just want to wait a long time and then re-enter into that experience. However, if you open up the possibility of community-made scenarios, then you really actually extend the longevity of the game and also potentially give it a much deeper community that really comes back and wants to reinvest in this experience. So it's a really smart move, but it's also a really valuable move to people who buy it. So I'm going to be demoing it at Gen Con, and I also am going to I'm going to try to see if I have the time to write my own scenario. I'd like to write my own scenario and enter into it. But I really like the idea of a vibrant story, and I felt very compelled. I've never played Destinies before, so I'm going to be playing it and learning it as we get into or closer to Gen Con. But the reason why I'm excited is because I really enjoyed Dark Quarter. I loved playing that and jumping into the narrative and kind of like getting into the characters. And so the idea of having another potential way to check out a story like that. It's also got like really gorgeous miniatures. I love the production that went into making this feel visible, because part of the issue with games like these is that they take place so intensely on a tablet that you can sometimes lose that experience. That is a lot of rats. That is a terrifying amount of rats. That's like Indiana Jones in Venice, in the crypts of Venice. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. I think he was in Venice. That's the only place I know of that has canal and boat life like that. I think he was in Venice. Yeah, no, there's a lot of creatures that are on here based off of these minis, and I'm excited about that. What it is, though, is Destinies works in this trait system where each character might be different, but they all have different traits that are at different values. And you're going to have multiple cubes or pips or, inside here, and then each one designates a success. So when you roll your dice, if you get multiple pips that you cross or cubes that you surpass or reach, you get multiple successes on whatever attempt you're doing. So you have these different skills that are applied in different ways across the game, and that's how you come into terms with what you're doing. And so I really like the system here. These are the little pips there. And again, this has been iterated upon with Dark Quarter. Things are different in that game and similar in that game to whatever you've got going on here. And then, let's see. Is there anything Nope, those are those. These are all the cards. It does function in a similar way to Chronicles of Crime and the other digital hybrid games that they have, where you scan in the cards. You've got these QR codes all over the characters and stuff like that, and that's part of the experience. That's part of what you are going in for, is that you are going to access it. But it doesn't function exactly like a narrative that you would expect. It's an evolving narrative because you find out what you end up investigating. So if you don't investigate something, you don't really find out that part of the story, or you don't engage with it. And so it's a pretty interesting decision space, and also a unique way to engage with a narrative. Do they want anything in there? No. I mean, it seems kind of like everything just goes back in that one, since there was no space for anything in there. So we'll just go back in. We'll go back in. There we go. Yeah, so I'm really excited to check this out. I think it will be a lot of fun to play. And I can't wait to see what all the expansions, because they've got several different expansions. Like, just seeing what everything does, I'm kind of excited about the potential for that. I do, it is always a question with stuff like this of like how much is this going to live beyond the one time that you do it. But ultimately, if you are, is there space beneath there? Oh, well, that's where the dice are. So, no, not really any space beneath there. Yeah, it's always interesting to me that the potential that you have for growth in a story like this, and because they have several other expansions, because they are intending to do this community-focused scenario builder, I think that, a game like this has, potentially a lot of legs. Most games only have 2 legs, but this game could have an abnormal number of legs. It could have 8 legs. It could have 10 legs. This could be a centipede for all we know, or even a millipede. It just depends on the amount of legs you think are normal for a game, and then this one has the potential to have more than the normal amount of legs. Like, comment below, how many legs do you think a table or a board game might typically have? And then how many legs do you think this one could have? I think that's the question that ultimately all of us are asking ourselves, is how many legs does a board game have? And how many board games does it take to screw a light bulb? I think that I don't know if there's any other question quite as pertinent as that in our life right now. I'll put all those in there. Maybe see if that slots in better there. And then maybe see how well these can go in over here. Maybe. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure what I'm doing, to be honest. I'm just trying to see what is the optimal organizational method here. Optimal organization. I think that works. That works enough for me. That works enough for me. And then, oh no, this needs to go this way. Yeah? Yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? No, not that way. Did I do this wrong? I might have done this wrong. Did I do it wrong? I don't think I did it wrong. Should I have done that the opposite way? Should I have done it like that? No. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No, it needs to go the way I did it. But now I'm at a loss. I thought I did that there. Oh. Is it just like a little... Is it a little stiff? There we go. There we go. Guys, progress has been made. We're going to go put that there. And then this here. And that's Destinies. And I'm excited to play it. I'm going to see what this is. That looks pretty crazy. That looks like a huge monster that has a sword that's literally going through a castle battlement wall. And then, are our heroes going to go ahead and do some crazy stuff? Or maybe they're not heroes. Maybe they're anti-heroes or antagonists. Who says they're protagonists? I could be evil for all I know. That's it. This is Destinies. I hope you have a good one. Now I'm gonna go get some food. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. That makes me think of, I made a Mighty Boosh reference in, I think, the vlog on Jesse's channel at 4th of July. And I was really happy that some people noticed, because I made an old Greg reference. And then it made me think of the moon. Like, I am the moon. Sometimes when you are the moon, you're like, hey Jupiter, how's it going? Be friends with me, yeah. And that also made me think of the cheese is a kind of meat, a tasty yellow treat. I milk it from my teat. I try to be discreet. Whoa, cheese. Whoa, cheese. All right. That's the worst outro I could have done, and I'm going to own it. Bye.